One thing that's very important also in a nonviolent struggle is to know who your opponent is and to understand who he or she is. Because you are likely to come into contact with them over and over again. And in the case of Tibet, there are areas where there's not much mixing, but there's areas where there's a lot of contact between Tibetans and Chinese. And the question is, what do you do when you see each other? And there really are a number of options. I have an exercise that I like to do with the students, and I asked one of them to come up and pretend to be the Chinese person. All they have to do is walk towards me, and I walk towards them. And the first time I get near them, I turn my head away and I spit like I'm spitting in the street, and then I continue on. Okay, the second time, then we do it again. The second time, as I move towards him, I just look down and I just look at my feet and move past him. Okay, then we start again. The third time, we move towards each other and I look him in the eye and I smile and I say, "Good morning." And then we continue on. So then I ask the students, well, what did you feel? The first time I felt angry, and the second time I didn't feel much of anything, and the third time, of course, I felt happy because he was smiling at me. So this is one way of relating to your opponent, is you can decide whether you're going to be hostile or whether you're going to try to be friendly. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be best friends, but if you meet the other in a personal way, eye-to-eye contact, and meeting as people, not as stereotypes, not as those dirty Tibetans and those horrible, mean, greedy Chinese. So that's a very important thing that we try to help them think about. And think about, well, how do they relate to their neighbors? How do they relate to their schoolmates? Do they share their point of view about the situation, or do they not? Is it important to make the other understand where you're coming from? Will this make any difference? So all of this is one piece of it. Now the other side is there's going to be times when it's not all so touchy-feely nice, okay? There are going to be times when that really is going to be your opponent. So then there's still the question of, how do I relate to the opponent? There's a wonderful picture from the Philippines struggle of a nun with a bouquet of flowers at the barricade, handing the soldier a bouquet of flowers. And it's just such a powerful picture because, like, the soldier doesn't really know what to do. It's like, wait a minute, I'm here to contain these people and they're doing bad things. And look, somebody's giving me some flowers. So that's another way to think about it. The important thing is to never, ever forget the humanity of your opponent. We're all human beings, and we may believe different things, we may think different things are important, but at base, we are all human beings. And if you can keep that in mind, your campaign will be more successful and you'll be a happier person.